Hi everybody and welcome once again to Ruby's Classic Cooking. And today I am making a lemon-filled jelly roll, which should be delicious. And I'm going to start off by making my lemon filling, and I'm going to do that in the microwave. Now, you can also do it old school on the stove and stir and try not to burn it, but in the microwave it's much easier and faster. So let's start out with my recipe. Okay, I'm going to start out with a half a cup of sugar. That's caster sugar in the UK, plain old white sugar that we all bake with every day. Quarter of a cup of all-purpose flour. That's all-purpose flour in Canada, but in the UK and in the United States that would be strong flour or bread flour. And now I'm also going to add a pinch of salt. So for me, that's just going to be a quick, that's a pinch of salt. Just what you would take between 2 fingers and run in your bowl. I'm going to stir these together. This is a microwave safe pitcher that I'm using. And now I'm going to gradually add 1 cup of boiling water. This just came out of my tea kettle, so it was boiling. So I'm just going to stir these together. Make sure I don't have lumps in my flour, my sugar. And since this has to cool before I can use it, I'm making this, and then I'm going to make the jelly roll so that it cools. So this is cool and ready to use in my jelly roll. Just keep adding a little bit at a time until you have the whole cup in there. Doesn't look very yummy yet, does it? Of course not. It's got a ways to go before it's going to look yummy delicious. Now I'm going to put this in my microwave, which is a 1100 watt microwave, and I'm going to let this go for a maximum of 4 minutes, but after every minute I'm going to take it out and stir it until it's thickened. You don't want to leave it for the full time because it will just clump in. You need to stir it as it cooks so that it won't be lumpy. Won't be one big lump in the bottom. Okay, after 1 minute, we're starting to get a little bit of stuff here in the middle, and we just stir this down to make it nice and even. Okay. This is just the base, so it doesn't have to be pretty lemon yellow looking yet. But it will be by the time we're finished, I promise. Now, 1 more minute in the microwave. And actually, it might not take the full 4 minutes. It all depends on your microwave. And I think this is probably thick enough after 2 minutes in the microwave. As a matter of fact, yes, I do believe that's thick enough. So it only took 2 minutes in the microwave. And now I'm going to do a lightly beaten egg. Just going to do that in a little bowl here with my fork. And I'm just going to beat this egg lightly. And there we go. That's lightly beaten. Of course, if I try to tip that so you can see it. There we go. Now I'm just going to temper this, which means I'm going to add a small bit of this into my bowl with my eggs, and I'm going to beat that, because if I pour this egg directly into this hot mixture, guess what? I'll have scrambled eggs, and I don't want scrambled eggs. So you just want to take a little bit of this and just kind of stir it into here as it's added. Left-handed is a little bit awkward, but anyway. Stir that in. You want to raise the temperature of this egg gradually so that it's closer to the temperature of this. Another little blob of this goes in here. And you want to beat it in quickly because you want to make sure that it's raising the temperature of your egg without giving it a chance to cook. And after you do this a few times, probably 3 additions will be lots. You can have bigger blobs as you go along. And then I can pour this heated up egg mixture into here without worrying about my egg becoming scrambled. But you want a nice, soft, silky filling. You don't want scrambled eggs. Trust me. Trust me on that one, people. Trust me on that one. Okay. So now let's just kind of pour this into here. And we'll start stirring this in quickly. You still don't want to give it a chance for scrambled eggs. Those are great for breakfast, but not for lemon sauce. There we go. See, now we're starting to get a nice yellow color here, aren't we? There we go. And today, as you see, I'm just using my wooden spoon and my bowl scraper. That's all I'm using for tools today. So this is a really quick and easy one. No fancy equipment needed for this one. And if you don't want to use your microwave, you can always cook this on top of the stove, stirring constantly until your filling is thickened. There. Keeping things cleaned off as I go, because all of my ingredients are going to evenly mix into my sauce, which is a good thing. Alright, now I want to give this about another 30 seconds in the microwave because I want to make sure that this egg is fully cooked. And there we go. And now for the lemon part. Just give that a little stir. Put that to one side for the moment. Now for the lemon part. Now, I need a teaspoon of grated lemon peel, which usually is about the peeling off of a small lemon. Like I've seen some really giant ones, and you probably wouldn't need the entire peel off that to give you a teaspoon of lemon rind. Generally, if it's a small to medium-sized lemon, I just use all of the lemon rind. Now just remember, don't get down into the white pith. Just take the yellow part of the rind off the top. And just keep moving your lemon around on your grater as you go to make sure you're not getting into that pith. And to make sure you're getting the entire peel. Move from one section to another. Part of what gives it its lovely lemony flavor. Well, there you go. That's about a teaspoon of lemon zest. Got my teaspoon here. I'll measure it out here. Just kind of pack it into my teaspoon. That was a little bit better than a teaspoon, but that's okay because a little bit more is better. Give you a bit more. Give you a little bit like that more. Just gives you a little bit more lemon flavor. And now I'm going to get 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'm going to take this lemon. You want to zest your lemon first before you take the juice out, because it's a lot harder to zest the lemon after it's been squeezed. A lot harder. And now I'm going to measure this right into here, because this is going straight into here. So hopefully I've got my 3 tablespoons here. That's 1, 2, about 2.5. So I still have to squeeze these a bit more and see if I can get a bit more juice out of them. All right, I've got my lemon juice in. Now my lemon zest goes in, and a tablespoon of butter. So I'll just take that right out of my butter dish. There we go, 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm doing it out of the butter dish because that's room temperature, because I want it to melt into here. So let's just kind of stir this in here. And now I'm going to let this sit and cool off. And by the time I have my jelly roll ready, it'll probably be cooled off. And now on to making my jelly roll. If you want a more detailed video on how to do this, just watch my jelly roll video. Today, this is kind of my secondary recipe, so I'm just going to be kind of quick about this. Now, 3 eggs go into my bowl. I use my stand mixer for this. If you have a stand mixer, this is a great, it really helps you greatly. However, for years when I didn't own a stand mixer, I made this recipe using my electric handheld mixer. So it's really quite possible to do this with your electric handheld. It's just a little bit more difficult. Yeah, 3 eggs and no shells, yay. So for this recipe I need my stand mixer and my spatula. And right now I'm going to take these 3 eggs, I'm going to put them on my stand mixer, I'm going to set them to medium speed, and I'm going to leave that for 5 minutes. I'm not going to make you watch 5 minutes of eggs being beaten. So I'll bring you back after that. Okay, 5 minutes for the eggs. Now, normally when I'm doing this, I don't even stop. I just keep adding the ingredients without stopping my mixer. But today, I'm going to show you what the eggs look like. Here's what my eggs look like after 5 minutes of blending. Now what I'm going to do, now I'm going to add a cup of sugar gradually. So I've got a half a cup here, and I'll add another half a cup, and I'm just going to turn my mixer on. I'm going to keep adding that. So my sugar goes in, then my lemon flavoring goes in. This is lemon extract, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of lemon extract. After that, 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm just going to measure that out in my tablespoon. I'm just going to put that straight in my bowl. Then I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And that is pretty much everything that goes in. Then it goes on my prepared pan into my preheated 400 degrees, that's 205 degrees Celsius oven. And that's like 8 to 10 minutes. Then my jelly roll base will be cooked and ready to use. So let's get on with this. If you want to see it in more detail, like I said, watch my jelly roll recipe. This base is very flexible, and I've used it for a lot of different desserts. And when I'm finished, I'll be pouring this into my prepared pan, which is a jelly roll pan, 15.5 inches by 10 inches by a 1/2 inch deep. The cookie sheets are not as deep, so it might overflow a bit. So I have a jelly roll pan that I use. So now in my flour goes. Just combined. When I start this recipe, I turn my oven on to 400 degrees, and by the time my cake is ready to be put in the oven is up to temperature. And here's my prepared pan. I have lined it with parchment paper just to make it easier to get out of the oven. You can also use wax paper, but don't use saran wrap for this. Not oven proof. This is going into a 400 degree oven, remember. I'm just going to pour this cake out across here. And it doesn't look like there's enough cake batter to fill this, but trust me, there is. Once that baking powder starts acting up in the oven, it'll fill this pan with ease. It's kind of a thickish cake batter. You kind of have to encourage it a bit. All the way down to the end of the pan, all the way to the edges. And now into my oven it goes for 10 to 12 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you my final cake. In the meantime, I'm going to get a tea towel. I'm going to soak it with cold water and spread it out here to receive my cake. And here's my tea towel. I've just soaked it with cold water. Let's spread it out here on my counter. When my hot cake comes out of the oven, it's going to get dumped straight on this tea towel. Here's the final step to our lemon-filled jelly roll. My base is all laid out here, and it's been cooling, so it's now nice and cool. And I'm now going to put my lemon filling that I made earlier and spread that out. As this cooled, it definitely thickened, so that's a good thing. So you want a nice thick filling here. Spread it out right to the edges of your jelly roll. Okay, now I'm going to roll this up very carefully. I'm going to take up the edge of my tea towel, and I'm just going to roll this over. Try to do it carefully so you don't crack your jelly roll base. And then that's one time over. And now we just roll that over, giving the tea towel give us a little bit of help getting it over. And now I'm going to leave it rolled up in the tea towel for another 5 minutes. Give it a chance to accept the roll shape. And in the meantime, I'm going to get some plastic wrap out here. And when this is finished sitting here for 5 minutes, Then I'm going to be transferring it over to a roll of plastic wrap. And then, then I'm going to be rolling it up in plastic wrap. And then it will be totally finished and ready to serve. Okay, 5 minutes later, and now my cake is going to be transferred to the saran wrap from the tea towel. So I'm just going to unroll this and roll it off the tea towel onto my plastic wrap. There we go. Okay. Give it another roll over here. And there we go. And there's my lemon-filled jelly roll, all finished and ready to eat. All I have to do is slice this up into servings, and about 1 inch per serving is great. One inch per serving. That makes about 16 servings from this. But you can cut them thicker, of course, if you want to. I hope you enjoyed my video today, and I hope that you will like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Check out one of my other almost 130 videos. And come on back and see what I'm cooking next time on Ruby's Classic Cooking. Bye for now.